The Cogitating Ceviché presents Ben Jonson, the sharp wit behind English satire, honoring the overlooked satirists and thinkers who altered our perspectives, number 31, by Conrad Hannon, narration by Amazon Polly. Preface. Welcome to the 31st edition of our series, honoring the overlooked satirists and thinkers who altered our perspectives. In this installment, we celebrate the genius of Ben Jonson, a towering figure in English literature whose sharp wit, keen social insight, and mastery of classical forms have left an indelible mark on the world of drama and satire. As a contemporary and rival of William Shakespeare, Jonson's works offer a distinct and intellectually rigorous perspective on human nature and societal norms. Jonson's satirical plays, such as Volpone and The Alchemist, are celebrated for their incisive critique of greed, corruption, and human folly. His commitment to classical principles and his development of the comedy of Humours entertained audiences of his time and laid the groundwork for future generations of playwrights and satirists. In addition to his plays, Jonson's poetry and masques further showcase his versatility and profound impact on English literature. Join us as we delve into the life and legacy of Ben Jonson, exploring his early influences, major works, and the themes that continue to resonate with readers and audiences today. Through this exploration, we aim to honor Jonson's monumental contributions to literature and reaffirm his status as a master satirist and storyteller whose works remain timeless and relevant. Conrad Hannon. Overview. Ben Jonson was a prominent English playwright, poet, actor, contemporary, and rival of William Shakespeare. Born in 1572, Jonson's multifaceted career spanned the dynamic cultural landscape of Elizabethan and Jacobean England. He is best known for his satirical plays, Volpone and The Alchemist, which remain highly regarded for their sharp wit, complex characters, and incisive social commentary. Volpone, written in 1606, showcases Jonson's ability to craft dark comedy that criticizes greed and moral corruption. The play revolves around Volpone, a wealthy Venetian who feigns terminal illness to dupe his avaricious acquaintances into showering him with gifts in the hopes of becoming his heir. This narrative entertains and offers a profound critique of human avarice and deception. The Alchemist, penned in 1610, is another masterpiece of Jonson's satirical prowess. Set against the backdrop of London during a plague outbreak, the play follows three con artists who set up a fake alchemical laboratory to swindle gullible individuals seeking wealth and power. Through its intricate plot and vivid characters, The Alchemist satirizes human gullibility and the relentless pursuit of profit, showcasing Jonson's talent for blending humor with biting social critique. Jonson's works are celebrated for their exploration of human nature and the vices and follies of his time. His plays often feature exaggerated characters that embody specific social traits or moral failings, serving as both comedic elements and vehicles for social commentary. Jonson's keen observations of society, combined with his classical education, allowed him to create entertaining and intellectually stimulating works. Jonson's influence extends beyond his own time, as his works laid the groundwork for future developments in English drama and satire. His emphasis on classical forms and moralistic themes resonated with audiences and critics alike, securing his place as one of the most important figures in English literature. Ben Jonson continues engaging and challenging readers and audiences through his enduring plays, affirming his legacy as a master of satire and social critique. Early life and career. Ben Jonson was born in Westminster, London, in 1572. His early life was marked by both promise and hardship. His father, a clergyman, died shortly before Jonson's birth, and his mother remarried a master bricklayer. Despite these challenges, Jonson's educational journey laid the groundwork for his future literary success. Jonson was educated at Westminster School, where he received a robust foundation in classical literature. Under the tutelage of the renowned antiquarian and historian William Camden, Jonson was introduced to the works of Latin and Greek authors. This classical education profoundly influenced his writing, providing him with the knowledge and stylistic models he would draw upon throughout his career. After leaving school, Jonson worked briefly as a bricklayer, following his stepfather's trade. However, this profession did not satisfy his ambitions. Seeking greater opportunities, Jonson joined the English army, serving in the Low Countries, present-day Netherlands and Belgium. During his military service, he participated in the Siege of Ypres. This experience exposed him to the harsh realities of war and likely contributed to the themes of conflict and human folly in his later works. Upon returning to England, Jonson's life took a significant turn as he began his career in the theatre. Initially, he worked as an actor, a common entry point into Elizabethan drama. His time on stage gave him a deep understanding of performance and dramatic structure, which would prove invaluable in his subsequent career as a playwright. Jonson's transition from actor to playwright marked the beginning of a prolific and influential period. His first major success came with the play, Every Man in His Humour, 1598, performed by the Lord Chamberlain's Men, the company that included William Shakespeare. This play established Jonson's reputation and showcased his talent for character-driven comedy and social satire. Throughout his career, Jonson's works reflected his classical education and keen observations of contemporary society. His ability to blend humor with moral and social critique set him apart from many of his contemporaries. As he continued to write, Jonson became known not only for his plays, but also for his poetry, masques, and literary criticism, solidifying his status as a leading figure in English literature. Jonson's early life and career were marked by a combination of formal education, practical experience, and a relentless pursuit of literary excellence. These elements came together to shape a writer whose works would leave a lasting impact on the world of theater and beyond. Major works and themes. Ben Jonson's work is extensive and varied, encompassing plays, poetry, masques, and literary criticism. His works are characterized by their sharp wit, complex characters, and incisive social commentary. Some of his most notable works include 1. Volpone, or The Fox, 1600. Volpone is one of Jonson's most celebrated plays, a satirical comedy that revolves around the cunning Volpone, a wealthy Venetian who feigns terminal illness to dupe his greedy acquaintances into showering him with gifts in the hope of being named his heir. The characters, including the gullible legacy hunters and Volpone's sly servant, Masques, represent various facets of human greed and corruption. The play critiques the moral decay of society, using humor and irony to expose the lengths to which people will go to secure wealth and power. 2. The Alchemist, 1600. Set in a house in London, The Alchemist follows the exploits of three con artists, Subtle, Face, and Dull Common, who set up a fraudulent alchemical laboratory to swindle gullible victims during a plague outbreak. The play is a biting satire on human gullibility, the relentless pursuit of wealth, and the pretensions of alchemists and other pseudo-scientific practitioners. Through its intricate plot and vivid characterizations, The Alchemist highlights the absurdity of those seeking quick and magical solutions to their problems, underscoring Jonson's skepticism of charlatans and con men. 3. Bartholomew Fair, 1614. Bartholomew Fair is a comedy that portrays the diverse and often unruly characters attending a famous fair in London. The play provides a vivid cross-section of Jacobean society, showcasing a wide array of social classes and professions. Through its lively and chaotic scenes, Jonson satirizes various social groups, highlighting their hypocrisy and moral shortcomings. The fair serves as a microcosm of society, where pretensions and vices are laid bare, and everyone, from the pious to the profane, is subject to Jonson's keen observational humor. 4. Every Man in His Humour, 1598. This comedy, which established Jonson's reputation as a playwright, examines the humorous traits and affectations of its characters, each representing different societal types. The play underscores Jonson's belief in the classical concept of humours as determinants of human behavior. In this theory, four bodily fluids, blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile, affect a person's temperament and disposition. By depicting characters dominated by their humors, Jonson explores the irrationality and folly of human behavior. The play's success helped to cement Jonson's status as a major figure in English theater. Themes. Jonson's works are rich with themes that explore human nature, societal norms, and moral values. Some recurring themes in his works include Greed and corruption. Jonson frequently critiques the greed and moral corruption that pervade society. In Volpone and The Alchemist, he exposes how pursuing wealth can lead to deceit and ethical decay. Human folly and gullibility. Many of Jonson's characters are depicted as gullible and foolish, easily manipulated by cunning con artists or their desires. This theme is prominent in The Alchemist and Every Man in His Humor. Hypocrisy and social critique. Jonson's plays often highlight the hypocrisy of various social classes and professions. In Bartholomew Fair, he satirizes the pretensions and moral shortcomings of a wide range of societal figures. The influence of classical literature. Jonson's classical education is evident in his use of ancient literary forms and themes. He frequently employs references to Greek and Roman literature, and his adherence to the classical unities and the concept of humours demonstrates his respect for classical principles. Through these themes and his masterful use of satire, Ben Jonson's works continue to resonate with audiences, offering entertainment and insightful commentary on the human condition. Satirical techniques. Ben Jonson's satire is characterized by its sharpness, moralistic tone, and classical influences. His techniques include characterization. Jonson creates vivid and exaggerated characters that embody particular vices and follies, such as greed, vanity, and hypocrisy. These characters serve as vehicles for his social critiques. For instance, in Volpone, the titular character and his servant Masques personify greed and deceit, while the legacy hunters represent the corrupting influence of avarice. Similarly, in The Alchemist, the gullible victims, like Sir Epicure Mammon, embody human folly and the susceptibility to manipulation. Irony and sarcasm. Jonson's use of irony and sarcasm is pervasive, allowing him to highlight the absurdities and contradictions in human behavior and societal norms. Through ironic twists and sarcastic dialogue, Jonson exposes the gap between appearance and reality, often leading his audience to question the integrity of the characters and the society they represent. In Bartholomew Fair, the ironic portrayal of Puritans and other social figures reveals the hypocrisy and moral failings that Jonson perceived in contemporary society. Classical allusions. Jonson's works are rich with references to classical literature and philosophy, reflecting his education and grounding his satire in antiquity's moral and ethical debates. His familiarity with the works of Horace, Juvenal, and Aristophanes informs his satirical approach, providing a foundation for his critiques of human behavior and societal flaws. By drawing on these classical sources, Jonson aligns himself with a tradition of satirical writing that extends back to ancient Greece and Rome, reinforcing the timelessness of his themes. Moral didacticism. Unlike some satirists who merely expose folly, Jonson often aims to correct it, using his works to advocate for moral and ethical behavior. His plays entertain and serve as moral lessons, urging audiences to recognize and amend their own vices. This didactic element is evident in the resolution of his comedies, where characters are often punished or reformed according to their moral failings. In The Alchemist, for example, the con artists face their comeuppance, while the victims' greed and gullibility are exposed, serving as a cautionary tale for the audience. Jonson's satirical techniques are integral to the effectiveness of his social critiques. Through sharp characterization, pervasive irony and sarcasm, classical allusions, and a strong moralistic tone, he crafts works that entertain and challenge audiences to reflect on their behaviors and societal norms. His ability to blend humor with serious social commentary ensures his satires remain relevant and thought-provoking. Influence and legacy. Ben Jonson's influence on English literature is significant. His commitment to classical principles of drama and his development of the comedy of humours had a lasting impact on subsequent generations of playwrights. Jonson's adherence to the unities of time, place, and action, along with his structured approach to plot and character, laid the groundwork for Restoration comedy. This influence is evident in playwrights such as William Congreve and George Etheridge, who adopted Jonson's emphasis on wit, satire, and moral commentary. Jonson's work also significantly shaped the structure and themes of later satirical literature. His ability to weave social critique into engaging narratives set a precedent for writers like Alexander Pope, Jonathan Swift, and Henry Fielding. These authors continued Jonson's tradition of using satire to expose societal follies and advocate for ethical behavior, reinforcing the moralistic tone that characterized much of Jonson's work. The rivalry between Jonson and William Shakespeare has also contributed to Jonson's legacy. The two are often compared in terms of style and thematic concerns. While Shakespeare's works are celebrated for their emotional depth, poetic language, and exploration of the human condition, Jonson's are noted for their intellectual rigor, precise construction, and moral clarity. This contrast has sparked extensive scholarly debate and analysis, cementing both playwrights' places in the literary canon. In addition to his plays, Jonson's poetry has been highly regarded for its lyrical quality and emotional resonance. Poems such as To Celia and On My First Son demonstrate Jonson's versatility and ability to capture deep personal emotions with clarity and grace. To Celia, with its memorable opening line, "Drink to me only with thine eyes," remains one of English literature's most quoted love poems. On My First Son, an elegy for Jonson's deceased son, poignantly expresses the pain of loss and the complexity of parental love. Jonson's Masques, written for the court of James I, further showcase his versatility and ability to blend dramatic and poetic forms. Combining music, dance, and elaborate stage designs, these elaborate performances were highly popular in the Jacobean court. Jonson collaborated with the renowned architect and designer Inigo Jones to create visually stunning productions that entertained and impressed the aristocracy. His masques, such as The Masque of Blackness and The Masque of Queens, not only entertained but also conveyed political and allegorical themes, reflecting the concerns and values of the court. Ben Jonson's influence on English literature extends across multiple genres and forms. His commitment to classical principles, his development of satirical comedy, and his contributions to poetry and court masques have left an indelible mark on the literary landscape. Jonson's works continue to be studied, performed, and admired for their wit, intellectual rigor, and moral insight, affirming his status as one of the most influential figures in English literary history. Conclusion: Ben Jonson's contributions to literature are monumental. His ability to weave sharp wit, irony, and moral insight into engaging narratives has secured his place as a foundational figure in English literature. Jonson's works, particularly his plays, stand out for their intellectual rigor, complex characters, and incisive social commentary, making him a master of satire and a keen observer of human nature. The enduring relevance of Jonson's work lies in its exploration of universal human themes and its fearless critique of societal norms. Through his vivid and exaggerated characters, Jonson exposed the vices and follies of his time, using humor and irony to highlight deeper moral truths. His commitment to classical principles of drama and his development of the comedy of Humours set a precedent for future generations of writers, influencing the structure and themes of satirical literature for centuries to come. Jonson's legacy continues to shape and inspire the world of literature. His rivalry with Shakespeare, contributions to poetry, and innovative masques for the court of James I all attest to his versatility and lasting impact. Whether through the dark comedy of Volpone, the biting satire of The Alchemist, or the lyrical beauty of his poems, Jonson's works remain a testament to his genius and ability to blend entertainment with profound social critique. As a master satirist and storyteller, Jonson's works invite readers and audiences to reflect on their behaviors and societal norms, ensuring his insights remain relevant and thought-provoking. His legacy affirms the enduring power of literature to challenge, inspire, and transform, highlighting the timeless nature of his contributions to the literary world. Through his works, Ben Jonson continues to engage and challenge us, affirming his status as one of the greatest figures in English literary history. Thank you for your time today. Until next time, stay gruntled.